China won't show you shooting hoops unless you're one of their media dupes. And the NBA plays along because the revenue stream is so strong. The Boston Celtics, who I'm told play basketball and not flutes, Kat, have been pulled from Chinese media after Celtic player Enes Kanter called for Tibetan independence.
Under the Chinese government's brutal rule, Tibetan people's basic rights and freedoms are non-existent. They are not allowed to study and learn their language and culture freely. They are not allowed to travel freely. They are not allowed to access information freely. The Tibetan people are not even allowed to worship freely. Brutal dictator of China, Xi Jinping, I have a message for you and your henchmen. Free Tibet, free Tibet, free Tibet.
Enes is now a menace. Now, that stance is illegal in China. They don't like any calls for freedom unless it's the freedom to enslave Uyghurs to make shoes for basketball players. So on Wednesday, Chinese streaming giant Tencent cut the live broadcast between the Knicks and the Celtics. It was almost as fast as the White House cutting the feed when Biden starts answering questions. So why does this matter? Well, because China reportedly accounts for at least 10% of the NBA's revenues. So the league is reluctant to piss off the dictatorship. 2 years ago, NBA executive Daryl Morey tweeted support for democracy in Hong Kong, and his team's games are still banned from TV there. Morey later apologized, likely pressured by the NBA to do so. Plus, the NBA and other American companies like Nike, who rely on China to sustain their growth, have pretty much ignored Beijing's human rights record. Supporting tearing down 100-year-old statues of slave owners is one thing, but publicly oppose the actual slavery we're profiting off of in 2021? Don't look at us. Maybe the NBA is just waiting to see which pronouns the slaves prefer before releasing a statement. Meanwhile, instead of Celtic games, China plans to show this instead. Bird's got some balls. Kennedy, you are a friend of Enes?
Yes.
I could say it takes balls, and it definitely puts him, it juxtaposes him from some of the other players in the NBA.
The level of courage it takes for him. This is someone whose entire family essentially has been imprisoned in Turkey because he has spoken out against the Turkish dictatorship of President Erdogan there, and they have been horrific. He cannot speak to his family. He cannot see them. They would love for him to go play in a country where he can be extradited so they could throw him in prison. And he knows what he's up against. He knows he's putting his reputation and his career on the line, but he really spends his time and puts his mouth where the danger is, and he stands up. Yeah. But he stands up for people who are truly oppressed. And, he's not only standing up against LeBron James, but the Celtics, who benched him during that game.
Wow.
Because he was wearing a pair of shoes that were painted by a Chinese artist that said free Tibet and had a picture of a person in immolation who had set themselves on fire, which is what people in Tibet are doing.
Thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure if he had kneeled, it might have been a different story. Vivek, this is your wheelhouse. So feel free to answer whatever question is already in your head.
Well, it's what you said about kneeling. It doesn't take a lot of courage to kneel when everybody else is kneeling during the national anthem or to paint Black Lives Matter on the court. This guy took courage, and I respect that. And I think that the thing I want to watch for, because I think China is the single greatest threat to the integrity of the United States and the free world over the next 10 years. I think they're going to invade Taiwan. I think it's going to be early 2023. That's my prediction right before the next presidential election, because they're not going to take that risk. I want to see what the NBA says. Now we know somebody who's going to actually stand up. I remember LeBron James, when Daryl Morey sent that tweet, he was the first person to come to China's public defense.
Exactly.
These corporate and celebrity cronies of China are really in the NBA, and every celebrity. John Cena recently shamelessly apologizing to China for the sin of calling Taiwan a country. But this is everywhere. So this is a guy who actually stands up to the system, and I got to give him a little bit of credit for that. More people are going to need to do it, though, because if we don't make sacrifices for the gold that we seek in China, their trick is going to work where they build the great Chinese wall that prevents you from entering the market if you criticize the CCP. This is a guy who's willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, God, this show is full of heroes. There's me and those other people. Kat, how soon before the NBA forces this guy to apologize? And the question is, will he?
Yeah, no, I don't think he gives a because by doing this, it's not like there's going to be no consequences. He already knows that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like LeBron James, for example, is under the impression that China's good. He just knows that doing what he does and saying what he says is good for his own bottom line.
Right.
So he knows that he's missing out on those things. So if you're going to actually proactively go out and do this, he's not going to apologize or take it back.
Yeah. You played in the NBA, didn't you, Tom?
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Would have loved it.
Yeah. You're not quite tall enough, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
We're good enough.
No.
But no, I think this guy's great. It is amazing that we are, because he is a hero, but it's amazing what it takes to be a hero now, just stating the obvious.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
true.
so simple. And Maury, this guy, he is now, I think he's with Philadelphia. They don't show Philadelphia's games either in China. So
Right.
they don't have the Celtics in China. They don't have Philadelphia. All it takes is one player to speak up, and then they're blacklisting the team. That's why we need other heroes like this to state the obvious. I mean, Maury, all he even said, if I remember correctly, was, we stand with the people of Hong Kong.
Right.
And then the NBA apologized? I mean, that's the cowardice. I hate to pick on the players, even though I love to pick on LeBron because he is a coward. But the NBA, I mean, because he's a real hack and a flack for the Chinese Communist Party. But the NBA, it's the corporate hacks.
Yeah.
I don't know any of their names, but they're all a bunch of jerks. And
Watch your mouth.
I mean,
It's a family show.
it's amazing.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
That we have to, essentially, that's where we end up going, is we end up blaming the players who aren't standing up. But that it's the corporate cowards of the NBA, and we should let them know that we don't like what they're doing.
Yeah, the problem is we like our sports. So we kind of we go, yeah, and then we watch the games. That's why I picketed at the NBA.
I don't watch the games.
Me too.
I don't watch the games.
I watch the games.
I don't watch any of the sports.
I watch all the games. I watch all the games for you. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
No, my point is I never watch anything. So it's like a fake boycott.
Yeah.
It's like I like to boycott things I never really use.
Yeah. I wasn't watching them anyway, but now I'm not watching them.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.